Hello, everybody. Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. And as you can see, I've got my good friend back with me, Brendon Snyder. How you doing, Brendon?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Chris.
Oh, great to have you on here. And Brendon and I, off camera, have been talking a lot about box sets lately. So we thought it would be a good time. There's a lot of box sets coming out lately, including the Kiss box set, as you can see behind Brendon there. And I will be picking that up eventually. I just have not.
You've committed to it now.
I've committed. I've said it on camera now.
Okay.
So it's once you say it on camera, it has to happen.
That's right. It lives out there forever.
Exactly. But today we're going to show you 5 of our favorite box sets that we own. We both own quite a few box sets, so we figured we'd pick 5 of them to show, and you know, we'll get right into it. So I'll start. All right. With this gem right here. This is Pink Floyd, and this is the part of the early years. This is 1965 to 1967. Mm-hmm. And this is a 4 disc set. It also includes a DVD with it. I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan. I love early Pink Floyd. Mm-hmm. What attracted me to this is there's a lot of early songs that I had never heard before. Like there's a song called Lucy Leave, Don't Go Bo, Remember Me, Walk With Me, Sydney. These are all old Syd Barrett songs. Mm-hmm. There's a Blu-ray DVD with live footage with Syd Barrett. There's a live disc included with this, and also some instrumental improvisations on a bonus disc. Plus, you get a lot of little goodies with it as well. I thought it just was a really cool set, and I know that there are other ones of this as well, but yeah, there you go. I went with just the early one.
So on that note, I'll transition to one of my favorites, which here's the full box of it. Yeah. Right? This is the full early years, the complete thing. You take the lid off this and there's a whole bunch of goodies, but inside it, the musical part is this. And so, you know, one of these volumes is the one that you just had there, but yep. You know, there's all these other ones that are in here as well. And I think the total, it's like 29 discs that are in here. But you're right, there's so much unreleased material in here, including, and I don't remember which volume it is. One of these has a double album's worth for a concept album they were making. They went out to test it on the road, and they played it live a couple times and recorded it, and then they abandoned it. Okay. So the only recording of this double album is live, and it's on here. There's an entire unreleased Pink Floyd album, double album on this. And there's a couple of things that are like that. There's a couple like jam session discs that have 10 or 12 tracks of them just jamming, and it's all unreleased stuff. It's amazing the amount of material that's on this thing. And this one was the $500, you know, thing. And so you were mentioning it, there's little bits of memorabilia in each one of these. Yep. But then inside the main box, under it, there's a thing you pull out. There's a whole pack, another box actually, and you take that out, and it's full of additional memorabilia. It's got 7 inches in it and stuff like that. So there's a whole bunch more to this, but $500 for this thing. This was the one that I really had to debate on, but as big a Pink Floyd fan as I am, I bit the bullet. I had to do it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just bought the 1 volume, but I can see myself buying maybe a couple more of these as well, because I really like this set.
Yeah, and I have to say that's like some of these bands have done that. They've released the box set where the idea was that was the only way you were going to get this. And about 6 months or so later, they started releasing those individually. Right. And if you add up the cost of the price of those individually, it's less than the $500 of the box. Right. Granted, there's the additional memorabilia and all that sort of stuff, but it was sort of like I bought the box because I thought that was the only way I could get it. Pink Floyd's doing it right now with the later years, the one you can see all the way in the background there, where they're releasing the discs that were in there, the 5 or 6 discs. They're now releasing each one individually.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This is what's crazy about box sets is like we're lured into them, and then you know there's different versions and everything, and start releasing single discs, and it's like I don't know. It's what it is. You know, we're collectors. So, all right. Another set that I picked up was the Black Sabbath Sabotage. Mm-hmm. This happens to be my favorite Black Sabbath album.
Okay, interesting.
This is the deluxe edition. So this has a lot of live footage on it, which is, it's cool to hear Black Sabbath live at the time. I mean, because Ozzy's voice was still in prime. You know, he was just singing like a madman back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
It includes a 7-inch with it, with Am I Going Insane and Hole in the Sky, which was pretty cool. You know, it comes with the booklet, and it's just a really cool set for one of my favorite Black Sabbath, actually my favorite Black Sabbath album.
More than Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die.
Yeah, Sabotage I like, and Technical Ecstasy is a close second though. I love those later when they got a little bit more proggy with their sound, a little bit more experimental.
I'm a fan of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
That's a great album.
Yeah, of the classic era. But out of those first, 7 or 8, however many albums those are, I really like Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. I know they're not as good if we're looking in the classic sense of what Black Sabbath sounded like, but I still love those albums.
Yeah, and I think Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die through the years have gotten more fans.
I mean, look, they just released the box set of this thing. You know, who would have ever thought that Black Sabbath was going to have a box set on Technical Ecstasy before box sets on some of their other, more famous albums. So
exactly.
All right, so for me, I'm going to go with the next one being Bruce Springsteen. I'm a huge Springsteen fan, first of all. I don't even live in New Jersey, and I still like him. But this album here, sorry, actually I have it backwards there, Darkness on the Edge of Town. So it's a deluxe edition of it. What I like is both the replica aspect of this and, of course, the content. So first thing is you pull that off, and it looks like a blue spiral notebook, the kind that he writes in. And then when you open it up, it's done, to reproduce, all of his writings for the album that are in there.
So it's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, they really redo it up nice. Then you've got all of the 5 subject dividers that are within here, and they each hold one of the discs that's in this. What's really cool is he took or found a double album's worth of unreleased material, fully recorded in the studio at the time, and they've created a double album, The Promise, and it's included in here. It's now being sold separately, like they do with some of these things. Right. But at the time buying this, it was to get this, 2-disc set of unreleased tracks. And so for me, at least, it's that combination of like replica type stuff and the content, the musical thing. So if there's unreleased music included within the box set, I'm going to be shelling out for it.
And that's the thing too. Like you said, they released the single disc version of it, but if you get that, you don't get all those extras that you have. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So that is really cool. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I highly recommend, if you're a Springsteen fan, Darkness on the Edge of Town or The River. The River is another excellent box set where he compiled a 2-disc set worth of unreleased songs that could have made the album, but didn't. And the album itself was already a double album. So it is crazy the amount of stuff that Bruce can write for these albums.
Right. That is really cool. Yeah, I've never seen that before. All right. Well, my third box set is my Johnny Cash complete Columbia albums collection. So this is every album that Johnny Cash released, and they're all housed in this box, and they're all mini replicas of the album. So, it's like a mini.
There are also gatefold versions, if there was a gatefold as such, or are they all just?
Yeah, like here's the album Gospel Road, and it's a gatefold of it.
So yeah, I like it, at least if they're going to do the mini album replica, to at least make the ones that were the gatefolds still.
Right.
That's always nice.
What I thought was cool about this too is it came with a bonus disc called Singles Plus, and you get a lot of obviously singles that were released, but some bonus tracks that I had never heard before. So I like when box sets do that, where they include some stuff that you wouldn't get normally.
Sure.
It also has a pretty nice booklet that comes with it as well.
That's a nice thick one.
Yeah, liner notes and studio information on each album. This is this is close to 200 pages.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like it too when they do the bonus tracks as a separate disc instead of
Yep.
tacking it on at the end of the album. So you still got the albums as they were. And then they
Right.
took singles and versions of those and made it separate. That's really nice because then you can just throw those two discs on separately and listen to it almost like it's a greatest hits kind of a thing.
Exactly. And that's what I like that they did with this set.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan, and
Yep.
you know, a lot of these were never put on CDs. So it's nice to have them in this box set, and yeah, all together, and plus that bonus disc and the booklet. So it was definitely worth the money for me.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. For me, I'm going to go with Tom Petty and the most recent Wildflowers and All the Rest. But this one here is like a super deluxe 5-disc edition that was only available on the band's website. So coming with a, which one is it? Is this one here? Finding Wildflowers as the 5th disc. Now, this is another classic case where they put this out website only, jacked up the price on it. So I had to get the 5th disc, and they just released it standalone by itself a few months ago. And I had already bought the 4-disc version, but I was so blown away with the 4-disc one that I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have that. And it's a shame that I already bought it once, but I'm going to buy it again. And I did. But this thing is really beautiful. First of all, it's kind of cool. It's magnetized on the side here. So it's a little different. And then it opens up here. And all of this art, stuff like this, is all created special for the box. It is numbered, so it's 3,000 something. I can't read it there, 3,435. The thing right on top here is a whole bunch of little replica things. It's got the yellow legal pad of paper that he wrote on. They reproduced lyrics and things like that, so that's included. And one of the other things that's in here is the tour book from the time. And it comes in this cool slipcase like this. This is how it was done at the time. So it's just a little thing that a little different than the kind of tour book you would normally get. But they've reproduced it here. And then this book comes out of it, which houses the discs and everything that are in here. But there's just a lot of great photos and, you know, behind the scenes stuff. And you can see the density of the writing. So lots of good stuff to read on here. And they go track by track through everything that's in here. So you get to know who played on it, when it was recorded, what it was for. Discs are in the back like that in here. But it's really, really well done. And so as I was saying, like, you know, the artwork on this and this here is different than the 4-disc. So even though I own the 4-disc, the artwork that was on the inside of this does not replicate over there. Right. So they created different art and different packaging for each version of it. So in the end of the day, I decided to hang on to both versions of it.
Well, that's what I love about box sets. And because we love the physical product. Mm-hmm. You get the box set, you get all those little extras and the 4 booklets, and it's just everything as a collector that you want.
Oh yeah, it's like kind of all wrapped in one. I mean, it's music for your ears, but for your eyes as well. And you get something tactile. And so, you know, I mean, with all of these, it's, you know, at least with like the Tom Petty, like there's replica stuff, there's unreleased music, there was live versions, there was demos, like anything you could want, you had. And it was 5 discs surrounding that one album. So if you're a big fan of that one album, it really lets you understand the process by which it was created. Right. Those are always fun box sets for me.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I want to show, and I know you have this, the Misfits box set.
Yes.
I have to show the Misfits box set.
A great one.
It's in a coffin. You know, getting harder to find.
And they did it before Metallica did it.
Right. Exactly. It comes with a cool booklet. Mm-hmm. With you know, information and liner notes and you know, unreleased photos that you know, I had never seen before. Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember, the Misfits were not a signed band the way they are today. Right. So the documentation around that band of like band photos and all that sort of stuff, there aren't archives and archives of that sort of stuff the way there are today about bands. Right. So the book is small and there's not a lot in there, but what's in there was even hard to come by and find. Erie Vaughn did the photography for them at the time. on all of that sort of stuff. So later, of course, Dan, a member of Danzig, he was their photographer back when they were the Misfits. Also shot music videos and stuff for them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It comes with a Misfits pin.
Mm-hmm.
And all the discs are housed in these hard plastic shells. And I thought that was kind of a neat sort of way of packaging them.
Yeah, and it's raised, right?
It's sort of embossed on there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the hype sticker, you get collection 1 and collection 2, you get Legacy of Brutality, you get Evil Live, Earth AD, Static Age, and then 30 rare, never before released alternate versions and outtakes. Mm-hmm. I thought was pretty cool. And this thing went out of print pretty quickly.
Oh, right away it sold out. But Static Age was not released when that box set came out. It was the only way to get Static Age. Right. That's the only one that post that box set got a release on its own. So I actually have a jewel case edition of Static Age that came with 3 bonus tracks that are not in the box set. So beyond those 30 tracks that they were talking about, they somehow found 3 more and stuck it on Static Age for a standalone edition.
Yeah, I bought the same standalone, and here we are. We're buying things more than once, but
I know
that's what we do. So
that is what we do for our collections. You're right.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna show my Neil Young Archives Volume 2 box. I spin this around. It spells out Neil Young on it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's a huge box. The top of it is magnetic, and it lifts off here. And then you've got all these discs that are within it. The book was actually the big thing that's part of this. They did a really high quality, it's not leather, but I mean, it's like fabric bound with red leather corners. Mm-hmm. It's just like crazy what they did in terms of making this book. And then it's just, all the information, but the one that is available, to be bought in the stores, doesn't have half of this sort of stuff in there. So what they were really selling this behind was this amazing book that covers all the history and how it was recorded, who plays on it, and so forth. And there's, let's see if it tells me real quick. There's, I'm not finding it. 131 tracks on here, but there's a bunch of these that are unreleased. Yep. And what I liked about this is there was a couple albums worth that were recorded and then shelved, and tracks were taken. So there's an album called Duma, which eventually became Zuma. Okay. And they took some of the tracks from that, but then added in other things that became the final album. The original album that was recorded is now available here. Okay. And there was, I think 2 of the discs are that way in here, but then other ones have alternate takes and things and different album artwork that was intended at the time, but they chose a different cover for the final release. So they really did it up well. Neil Young is one of the ones that I think does box sets right. He really curates them well. He doesn't repeat the material, and lots of unreleased stuff that has never seen the light of the day. So it's not just an alternate take that's unreleased. It's like there's 12 or 13 songs that have never been released in any format. Right. Neil is classic for records a song or writes a song back in the 70s and does bunches of versions, and it might come out here, come out there, and maybe somewhere in the 90s, it finally makes an album. So when it does get the release of the 1970s one, it's not truly unreleased at that point. But in this case, 12 or 13 of these had never been released in any format whatsoever. And then, of course, there's just tons of alternate versions on it. The thing with this, though, is I think it was $250 for the box set. Yes. It was really expensive. And the one that ultimately is being sold on Amazon, I think, is $150. But it's also about this big. And the booklet is real small and doesn't have any of this specialness to it. So kind of, again, collector. Gets me.
Yeah, well, and that's a phenomenal box set. I've never seen that before, so that's really cool. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, my last box set is Motorhead's Box of Magic.
Nice.
And what this has on it is the album The World Is Yours, but it's white vinyl. It's got the album Aftershock in it. It's got the album Bad Magic, which is a silver picture disc. And then Clean Your Clock, which is live in Munich in 2015. And the vinyl pops up.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah. And, the albums are all housed really well in here. I love that, you get the vinyl, and I'll just show you what the picture disc looks like here for Bad Magic.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is.
But I'm a huge Motorhead fan. I actually got a chance to see them live before Lemmy passed, which
one band I didn't get to see.
It was a crazy concert. It was Motorhead and the band Morbid Angel opened up for Motorhead.
Wow, really?
Yes. And I have two totally different bands, but
yeah.
I was just so happy
with anyone. That was one of the cool things about Motorhead.
Yeah, and I was just, so happy to get this, and this has gone up in price as well.
All the ones that they've put out have been limited, but one of the things I don't like is they keep releasing vinyl box sets, and there's no CD editions of them. They did like a super deluxe edition of Ace of Spades, and forget the other one that they did, Overkill, or one of the other ones. And there's all this extra bonus content, but there's no CD version of it.
Right.
So I keep hoping that they will eventually release CD editions of these great box sets that they're doing.
Yeah, well, and speaking of that, I was kind of hoping, because isn't the Kiss box set, it's only CD, right? They don't have a vinyl.
It is, and I know a lot of people are upset about that, but yeah, it's a CD only. No vinyl is in here, and so far you can't buy one. And I am shocked. I mean, they've got the 2 disc version in vinyl,
right,
but not the 4.
That would be crazy price, though. I mean, if the CD was $200, I don't even know what the
right. But then, they should have thrown the vinyl in that. I mean, they should have sold CDs plus vinyl all in one, and they would have made both of us buy it.
Exactly.
Did double sales on it for that reason.
Exactly.
That's one of the things I don't like when they do in box sets, when they put the vinyl in with the CDs, and I've got to pay for the vinyl when I don't really want it. Right. Bands like The Doors keep doing that, and the Rolling Stones.
Right.
So for me, final one is going to go to Alice Cooper.
Nice.
And I've got the old school limited edition. Looks like the desk that was in The School's Out, and it opens like the old school desk, and then it's just got tons of great stuff. And this is all like rare bootleg type sort of stuff. Cool vinyl that's included in here. This is going back a ways. I think I've had this for good 15 years. DVD, actually in DVD cases, which you don't really see anymore.
Yep.
And then, the discs that are within this. And it also, what's cool is that it has that vinyl that I just showed you, but on CD. So I do get a recreation of that way. And then there's this bottom tray that lifts out of it. And there's more goodies under this thing. What I really liked about it is they created a yearbook.
Oh, that is so cool.
Right. So it's just like a school yearbook, except that it's all on Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a very cool thing like that. And then you throw into it some 7 inches and a whole bunch of other little merch type things. They've got this folder that's in there that's got cool little poster art and other stuff like that within it. But again, just cool that they went with like, a folder to hold it and the yearbook, and they really tied into the whole theme of the school desk and school year and that sort of stuff in terms of how it is that they did this box. And the material on it, though, this is another one of those ones where it's like they were kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's super early, 60s era Alice Cooper up through like 71, 72 stuff, but it's pretty raw. And you have to be like open to that if you're going to get this. And this was a really pricey one as well when I bought it. It was website only. I had to go to Alice Cooper's page to get it, kind of a thing. But I mean, as soon as it came out, the thing sold out, and it's never been seen since. And this was a limited 1,113. So
yeah. I've never seen that before. I just bought the reissue of the album with the panties on the outside.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
I'm surprised they didn't include those in the box set.
Yeah, me too.
But
for School's Out?
For School's Out, yeah.
Okay, so I saw one yesterday in one of my trips around New York. I went to Rough Trade, and it looked like the vinyl folded into a desk.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Okay. And the one that I was looking at didn't have panties wrapped around it.
Actually, I think the panties.
Oh, are they? Okay.
I put them on the outside of the vinyl because I want to experience the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that. It's funny because I almost bought the vinyl just because it folded into a desk. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing. But then I looked at the price tag. It was like $30, and I was like, what?
Yeah. you know you're gonna get it at one point though.
I know. They had a ton of them, so I can go back.
It's inevitable.
Right.
So this, wrapping up here, I mean, this was probably just the tip of the iceberg for us. I mean, I know you have a lot more box sets. I can see some behind you. I've got some more stored away as well. Mm-hmm. We could probably do a whole other video on 5 more box sets to show.
Oh, easily. I mean, I haven't done a count for about 2 years now, but when I originally did a count, I had 158. So just imagine the extra box sets I bought in the last 2 years and throw those into that.
Anybody watching, we'd love to know your thoughts on box sets. Do you like them? Do you not like them? What sets do you have? Which box sets would you recommend? And Brendon probably already has them.
I can probably point you in the right direction.
Exactly. But thank you everybody for watching. And Brendon, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. It's good.
And if you have not subscribed to Brendon Snyder, please head on over to his channel. He's got a great channel and lots of awesome.
Come on over.
Yeah, head on over to Brendon's channel. All right.
Love to have you.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Everyone.
Have a good one.